Hey guys, Dark Prometheus here. Another episode of Front Office Football. So I've literally this is my third back-to-back, and will be the end of this. So if you guys make any comments before this in the last two episodes, I have read them. I'll see them next time. But one thing we need to do, team carry is being demoted, I guess. I'm gonna go down here. I know Artie Fletcher had huge upside to us. And actually, I should go down here. I know Kevin White had good upside to us. But we are going to release Kevin White. Now you're going to ask me, why? Well, I have five here, five corners, four safeties. I might, and then I got this issue at tight end with Martellus Bennett that if he goes down, I don't really have a legit guy. I mean, only in receiver, I have one, two, three, four, five. I have five receivers. We've been pretty healthy. So I need to go out and get another tight end. I haven't looked in who's out here. That's the thing. Let's have my scout give me some ideas. Jacques Rogers is still repetitive concussion syndrome. Oh, I thought I was. Oh, fullbacks. So we got John Carlson. We got Craig Stevens. No. Zach Miller. I mean, we did have him last year. Getting downfield. Not a very good run blocker. Scott Chandler. No. Garrett Graham. Could go with Dirk Selleck. Ooh. Here's a big one. Brent Ellison. So why I say it's a big one, he's good in blocking. So if I'm out there in two tight end sets, he can do some good blocking for us. I'm going to go down and see if there's any big. But I'd like to. Actually, we are going to pick up Kyrie Lee. I like Kyrie Lee in real life as well as playing him in like Madden and things like that. I really like Kyrie Lee. Cheap player, welcome addition. So actually, I'm going to do something. We have 47. This injury is big for Martellus Bennett. We're going to hold Martellus Bennett out. Actually, we're not going to hold Martellus Bennett out. What we're going to do is hold Artie Fletcher out. And we're just going to carry three just in case. I mean, he isn't. Let me just get away, isn't all that big. So, scouting report for Green Bay. This is our second time we see him, I believe. We lost last time. Damn it. Schedule. We lost. No, this is our first time playing Green Bay. So, we're going to have to see what we can do here. But we're going to look at the. I said we were going to do this 2 weeks ago in this game. So, here's our team summary. Obviously, we're 3-6 with Todd Bowles. We're in a rebuilding right now. So, Okay. So rushes per game. I mean, pass defense sixth. Turnover margin we're 12th. I mean, we are in almost the last third of everything. Looking at rushing, Forte, 124 attempts, 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 fumbles. Cutler, 267 yards. TJ Alden has 39 yards of that many attempts. That's terrible. Notice Perry's the same thing. Carey's just doing terrible as well. So here, receiving, Jeffrey has 85 targets, uh, or actually 50 catches for 571 yards. Mario Cooper, the rookie, 46 catches for 463 yards. Uh, Jeffrey has 3 touchdowns. Cooper has one. Bennett, 332 yards of one. Tay's got some. Stevie Johnson, I mean, yeah. So Christian Jones has 57 tackles. Sacks, hurries, defense. I think Fuller would be our highest rated, right? No, actually, Kilgo is our highest rated this year. Has been the most productive. Him or Pruitt, I mean, Pruitt's been the highest productive. 14 tackles, 4 assists, 2 interceptions. He is the highest upside. He is the future here in Chicago, being a hometown kid in Peoria. So we've had some good, but we've also had some issues. Bostic not looking all that great. McClellan, Jones, and Mundy have not really been victimized so much as they've they are putting it on. So we're gonna have to see what we can do here. Okay, let's go to the scouting report. So obviously Aaron Rodgers, Eddie Lacy, John Kuhn, Richard Rodgers, Jordy Nelson, and Devontae Adams be out there. David Bakhtiari, Josh Sutton, Garth Gearhart, 4-year player. Yeah, because Jared Abramitis and Jeff Jansen, well, at least Abramitis is questionable. Janis is probable out there. Um, Sam Shields probably won't see. Richard Rodgers is possible, so we will see him. TJ Lang and Ty Sombrello, which is their rookie right tackle they took in the third round. Ooh, that's a good pick in the third round. So, looking at BJ Raji, looking at defense, you have BJ Raji, Jarek Odrick, who they actually picked up in the offseason. Good player in their nose tackle. Mike Daniels, Clay Matthews is back over at the Sam linebacker instead of being in one of the Will or one of the uh, middle linebacker Mike positions. AJ Hawk, Maurice Hollings, who's a 2-year player, and they got from New England. So I guess he didn't play too much at New England. It looks like. Uh, yeah, I mean he was sporadic. Mike Neal, Tremont Williams, Casey Hayward. Looks like we're not gonna see Sam Seals. He is. Well, we should because he's got a groin injury. So, or strained abductor muscle. So it is possible we do see him, but just in a limited amount of snaps. And then Morgan Burnett and Clinton Dix. So we got a big task ahead of us if we're going to do much of anything. The 8-1 Green Bay Packers. So with them, offensively, means Aaron Rodgers leaves those lanes up in the middle, It allows Eddie Lacy to get 746 yards up the middle. Defense rushing wise, they've been pretty solid, only giving up 7 yards per carry on the right side. The rest of it's under 4 yards. And then offensive passing, of course, it's Aaron Rodgers. So short and medium, just balling. Um, Deep, he's got 16 deep receptions, so we could see a couple shots deep on us. Defensively, really short's the way to go here. You're not going to get much deep on this. And medium, you need some good receivers, which Omari Cooper and Alshon might be able to do much, but it's going to be that slot receiver that does much of anything. Looking at this, they favor the Packers in everything, but special teams. My receivers are better than their corners right now because of injuries, and my blockers are better than their front seven. But look at this. They're in the top 10 of just about everything besides like turnovers, things like that. But they're pushing a lot of 3-and-outs. I'm guessing. Oh, I need to fill my depth chart because I am retarded. Yeah, right here. Coleman. This is going to be Yeldon. This is going to be Perry. Now it should let me. All right. So we're in Chicago in our first game. Of course, is it cold as hell? 28 degrees and snowing with a 19-mile-an-hour wind. So this is going to be interesting. So here we go. Jay Cutler, we got the ball first. Forte's in the secondary for 10. We're going to see a lot of running today. Forte gets 7. Legal formation that's coming back for 5 yards. Forte runs for 5. Second and 10. Cutler slings an intermediate pass. It's incomplete. There's one to Fleener for 7. Green Bay has a player down. Didn't see who that was. There's a penalty there. That's an intermediate pass to Devontae Adams, only for 3. Janis catches one for 8 for a first down. And Kyle Fuller makes the interception. So there's Forte for 5 yards. Clay Matthews gets shaken up there, but he'll be right back. TJ Eldon gains 11 there. First and 10. Forte gains 4. TJ Eldon gains 1. Third and 5. Cutler to Amari Cooper to 3. And so we're going to kick. Damn it. That snow just messed up everything. Eddie Lacy runs for 9. Lacy gains 6 there. Jeff Janis for 9 yards on the catch. Eddie Lacy rushes for 1 on a first down. Eddie Lacy gets 7 there. Rodgers catches it for 13. Lacy goes for 7. Lacy stopped for no gain by Christian Jones. That is incomplete. It's 2 yards, but it's short because we went for it, but it ain't going over there. There's Forte for 27 yards. TJ Eldon loses 1. Screen pass to Jeffrey for 6 yards. Third and 5. Wilson catches it for 4 yards. Penalty on that will be declined. TJ Eldon gets those 2 yards for a first down. So they should have taken that penalty. There's Jeffrey losing 1. Jeffrey gets 3 there, end of the first quarter. Forte gets a short catch for 6, and we get 3 yards, or 3 points. So there's a deep pass, intercepted. Not sure who intercepted that. TJ Eldon for 5. My guess is bad weather here. Cutler scrambles for 4. Bennett makes a short reception for 3. So Todd Bowles is keeping it all short. TJ Eldon loses 3. Chris Williams trying to throw it deep. It's going to be a punt. So we're up by 3 still. Eddie Lacy rushes for 5. Brian Algo only gets 2 there on the reception. Again gets 47 yards at the short pass. Starks gets 12 there. Lacy gets 11 and a touchdown. So we need to put this on and get back on the board. So we lose 2 there by Forte. Yeldon gets 7 yards. Third and 5. And Forte gets a 20-yard rush. Good blocking there. Cutler sacked there as he holds the ball, trying to protect it. Fleener gets 3 on that reception, 3rd and 10. Cutler runs for 5 yards, and we'll punt it back to the 2. Lacey goes for 18 yards there in the rush. Lacey stopped for no gain. Meacham gets 37 yards because no one can just cover Meacham. There's Nelson for 22 yards. Delay of game, so it's brought back 5 yards. Nelson gets a gain of 6. Rogers to Meacham for 10 yards. Rogers scrambles for 5 yards. 2nd and 5. Nelson gets those 5 yards for a touchdown. So we need to score before this half's done. Alshon Jeffrey gets 10 yards there. Minute 26. Forte gets 9 yards there. Minute 17. Amari Cooper, that's dropped by him. Matt Forte gets 17 yards there on the pitch. 34. Cutler runs for 5 yards, but it's brought back. Forte gets 16 yards, 3 seconds left. We try to kick a field goal, but miss it. So Green Bay's got the ball first. Kuhn gets 11 yards. Their fullback. Lacey gets 5 yards. Kuhn gets 3 yards. He stopped. 3rd and 2. That one's dropped by Janice, so it's going to be kicked back to Chicago. Amari Cooper gets 39 yards. Legal use of hands for the defense, too. So that's 7 yards there. Kobe Fleener gets 6 yards on a 1st down. T.J. Eldon stopped for no gain. Cutler slides for 3 yards. Cutler gains 9 yards on that scramble. We're on the 6. Forte loses 1. Alshon Jeffrey catches a 3-yard pass. We're on the 4. Marquise Wilson doesn't get it, and we have to kick another field goal. Our red zone woes just continue. There's Eddie Lacy, 3. Adams, 4 yards. Nelson gets 3 on a 1st down. Starks loses 3 because it's all snowy. Devontae Adams can't get that one in. Jordy Nelson catches it for 21 yards. The guy Blunt loses 1. Janice makes the catch and gets 22 yards. Richard Rogers gets 6 yards and a touchdown. My God. This is just horrible. Forte stopped for no gain. Forte gets 19 yards on that rush. Amari Cooper gets 10 yards. Forte's in the secondary for 18-yard rush. Forte loses 1. Alshon Jeffrey catches 1 there for 3rd and 10. Alshon Jeffrey gets a 15-yard reception. Stevie Johnson, that's incomplete. Forte loses 1. Alshon Jeffrey gets 7. And it's another 21-9. There's a loss of 2. Lacey gets 10. Flag on the play, though, by Chicago. So there's Lacey loses 3. 3rd and 5. Lacey goes for 6. We can't get off the field. There's Christian Jones with a sack, 5 yards. Devontae Adams gets a 29-yard reception off. It's a 1-yard gain rush. Eddie Lacy gets 3. Jordy Nelson gets a 32-yard touchdown. So we just can't contain anything on 3rd down. On 3rd down, we're just letting them sling the ball all over the place. 19 yards. So we get that 1st down. Jeffrey catches it for 8. Jeffrey drops the ball. Screen pass doesn't go anywhere. Amari Cooper doesn't go anywhere with that, so it's going back to Green Bay. This is just abysmal. Eddie Lacy loses 4. It's knocked out. We get it back. Marquise Wilson, that's tipped away from him. Corey Fleener, that's not complete. Cutler scrambles for 7. He scrambles for 7. It doesn't even try to get the extra yard. That's an 11-yard gain by Algo. Algo loses 1. Lot loses 2 there, but bring him back. Starks gains 4. Starks gets 9. Kick back to us. Corey Fleener catches it by 4. Scramble, it goes nowhere. That's dropped by Stevie Johnson. Marquise Wilson gets 7 in the first down. Stevie Johnson drops another ball. Kyrie Lee, that was over his head. That wasn't going to be completed to him. Cutler rushes for 31 yards, soft defense. And that one flutters and it's just, wow. We beat ourselves in this game. I mean, we only threw that one last interception, which was a bomb Hail Mary, but a lot of rushing yards. We didn't do anything with it. I mean, look at this. 81, 66, 18. They only had 63, 22. Four touchdowns freaking killed us. They technically should have 6 if they didn't have these. Jordy Nelson, 2 touchdowns. A. Lacy had 1. This is wrong. Fuller. Christian Jones got that 1. See, this is when you know it's bad. When your when your corners have more tackles than your linebackers. Christian Jones had a sack, which was a good one. Well, I gave up 3 sacks. Raji, Neal, and Audric, which was still horrible. I mean, just abysmal. So Bennett is now probable, so we're going to be playing Bennett. He should have been playing. That's weird. McPhee, you're coming back in. Now who do we put on? Bostic? Ooh, this is a question. Because I don't want to do that there. I gotta have all of those guys active. I think it's just Bostic. I think. Well, who's better? Breen or Mundy? Clearly it's Mundy. So Vereen, you're going here. Houston. McPhee. Houston. McPhee. Actually, I should put. Because he's not doing anything. Okay, that should be good. So we're going to switch this. Stevie Johnson. Where's Johnson? Marquise Wilson will now be our slot receiver. I mean, let's look at us. We're 3-7. We could possibly have a top 5 pick at this point. I mean, we're going to the week 12. We got technically 6 games left. I can go 9-7. And San Francisco would have to only win 2 out of their next 4. But didn't I already play them? And I lost. So they have to lose. They only are allowed to win 1 out of their next 5. And Minnesota just can't win any because I haven't beat them. Have I? Yeah. Yep. Minnesota can't win a game the rest of the season. So it's pretty. It's safe to say that we're not going to win. We're not going to make the playoffs. It's safe to say that. Where's playing San Diego, so Philip Rivers. They got Donald Brown playing. Danny Woodhead is probable, so we'll see some of Danny Woodhead. The only thing we won't see is Nick Hardwick, who they have. Leo Mueller, second-year player, undrafted guy out of Colorado. Played for Tampa Bay last year. Played a little Tampa Bay last year. Played a little bit for Denver. And now he is in San Diego. We will probably see Eric Weddle, Brandon Flowers, some Demick Schaaf, and we won't see Brody Rokel, a 2-year player, undrafted free agent, played with Kansas City last year, and then came on to the Chargers this year. John Phillips, Thailand, Keenan Allen, Eddie Royal, and then DeAndre Coleman, Chris Watt. Chris Watt was drafted by them. DeAndre Coleman doesn't sound familiar, but yeah, he is one of theirs. We already talked about Leo Mueller. Then Darrell Williams. He's a 14. He was drafted this year in the 3rd round by San Diego, and he doesn't have a great run blocking. He's got great blocking strength, but that's a developmental player there. Possibly because they're missing some depth, possibly. And obviously, DJ Fluker, 3rd-year player out of Alabama, just beast moding it up there on the right side for him. On defense, Kendall Reyes, Ryan Caruthers, Corey Luget, I think that's how I'm going to pronounce it, Luget. Then they got Melvin Ingram, Monte Te'o, Reggie Walker, who they brought in, looks like from San Diego last year. Or no, where did he come from last year? No, he stayed with San Diego the entire time. Then Jeremiah Akatochu, who is, wow, 2nd-year player. He's drafted by the Chargers. Looking like a good player. Jason Verrett, Brandon Flowers. Jason Verrett struggled with some injuries this year, but they have a very good secondary, especially because they ended Brandon Flowers not last year, the year before. And Eric Weddle, Taylor Mays looks like is going to be in there. I thought Eric Weddle, what was he dealing with? Shoulder tendonitis, so he should be fine to go in. And they brought in Taylor Mays from Cincinnati to be that free safety. So we will see exactly what's going on here. As we take him on in Chicago, where it's sunny but 23 degrees with an 11-mile-an-hour wind. Really, they have a better quarterback. I mean, yeah. They say they have a better defensive and linebacker comparison. I can see that. We're transitioning. They say I have better special teams. I have better corners against receivers because we got Revis Island. Although Revis Island really hasn't been helping out too much. So it may be getting the end of the time with Revis Island. He may end up retiring the next couple years, maybe in this year. Then they say my blockers are better than their front seven. Debatable, but we'll see as we simulate. No, I'm not. Why am I not field number position? What did I mess up? Oh, that's my interim roll. Yeah. Here I am just going to put McManus. Yeah, McManus will be good. All right. Now let's do it. So, San Diego's won the toss and is elected to receive. So they will get the ball first. So Phillip Rivers to Keenan Allen for 6 yards. There's another one to Keenan Allen for 32 yards in double coverage. Keenan Allen for 18 yards. Yeah, I figured this was going to be a pass-heavy game. Donald Brown goes for 2 yards. Screen pass to Johnson. That loses 4. Normally Johnson loses 1, so they're going to kick a field goal. So that Alshon Jeffrey, it's a bad throw. Right there, that's Jeffrey losing 1. Jeffrey and Eric Weddle makes the interception. So that's just a bad pass by Cutler. Phillip Rivers, Brown loses 4. Keenan Allen for 15 yards. They're on the 1. Donald Brown can't get it in that time. Gives it to Donald Brown again, and this time he will get it. So it's already a 10-0 game against us in Chicago. There's Cutler for 4 yards. TJ Eldon loses 3. 3rd and 9. Jeffrey gets it for 10 yards. Offsides, but we will take the first down. Forte for 3 yards. This one for Chris Williams intended, but it's incomplete. So Stevie Johnson for 12 yards. Coleman rushes out that fullback position for 12 yards. There's one to Bennett for he loses 1 there. TJ Eldon breaks a couple tackles for 12 yards. Show him what he can do. There's Martellus Bennett for 12 yards. And we have just seen Cutler go down. So we're going to see David Fales out there. Forte loses 3. Slinging one to Alshon Jeffrey for a touchdown. Showing David Fales what he can do. And that's a drop pass by Keenan Allen. There's Brown for 7 yards. Eddie Royal tipped out of the way harmlessly. And we're going back to Chicago. David Fales is still out there. Forte loses 14. Give it to Forte again with the reception for 23 yards off a screen pass. And there's pressure. David Fales just throws it away. Here's one to Matt Forte. No gain. 3rd and 10. Here's one to Stevie Johnson, but it's knocked down at the line of scrimmage. So here is Keenan Allen catching it for 12. And there's a fumble, but San Diego still comes down with it. Danny Woodhead loses 2. Ego Ferguson makes a hurried pass. And Christian Jones blocks that pass. And there's Kyle Fuller blocking that one. Donald Brown getting 5 yards there, but it's coming back. There's Johnson getting 22 yards. That's going to be a first down. Keenan Allen gets 6 yards. 2nd and 4. Eddie Royal catches it for 4 yards on first down. Danny Woodhead gets 15 yards there for a first down. Johnson gets no gain. So here Keenan Allen drops a pass, 3rd and 10. Peppers hurries the throw. It goes nowhere, so they're going to kick a field goal. So David Fales is out there to Alshon Jeffrey slinging around for 15 yards. David Fales to Amari Cooper. That goes nowhere there. 2nd and 10. Cooper loses 2. Offensive holding, so it's coming back. 2nd and 20. Forte gets it for 12 yards. 3rd and 8. Fales flips to Fleener for 29 yards and a first down. So fails, gives it to Yeldon for 1 yard. We see Matt Slauson go down on that play. Forte gets 15. As you see here, Forte gets another 4. 2nd and 6. Forte loses 4. Monteteo stops him. And that's a badly overthrown ball, but that's good, so it's not an interception, and we'll get 3 points out of it. So Brown there loses 1. Johnson loses another 1. 1 to Eddie Royal, and that's knocked down. So that's going to be kicked back to Chicago. Fails, avoids the rush, gives to Chris Williams for 6 yards. Alshon Jeffrey for 51 yards and a touchdown. So yeah, we see some electrifying plays here. But our defense gives up a 39-yard rush there. That one's knocked down. Eddie Royal gets 41 yards and a touchdown. So let's see what we can do. Fails, gives it to Forte for 20 yards. 5 seconds left. Trying to throw it deep, but Cooper's the only one he can get it to. We get the ball at the next half. There's Wilson for 1 yard. Fails to Jeffrey for 3 yards. 3rd and 6. Fails, looks for Jeffrey again, but it's knocked away. And now we'll see Phillip Rivers go to work. Eddie Royal for 12 yards. Rivers rushes for 8 yards, which you never see. Eddie Royal catches a pass for 11 yards. As they're just tacking on this. Danny Woodhead loses 1. So there's Brown gets that 1 back, and there's Rivers sacked by Willie Young. So there's a good stand by the Bears. TJ Yeldon gets 2 yards there. Forte gets 8 and a first down. Here's fails Alshon Jeffrey for 3 yards, and Martellus Bennett is down. So TJ Yeldon goes for 12 yards. So we have Fleener and Kyrie Lee behind Bennett. So there's one. TJ Yeldon loses 1 yard. We're going for it. Yeldon gets those 2 yards and a touchdown and a first down. Forte loses 4 there. Given it to TJ Yeldon, gets 1. 3rd and 13. There's a good throw, but it is knocked away there, and we're going to be kicking a punt. Eddie Royal for 3 yards there. See, Danny Woodhead gets 7 and a first down. There's intermediate pass. Keenan Allen for 10 yards and a first down. That one's knocked down. Phillip Rivers is now down, but he will be just shaken up, and he'll come back in there. So there's Crabtree getting a 6-yard catch there. Keenan Allen gets 15 yards. Donald Brown gets 4 yards. 2nd and 6, and that is a 4-yard gain. Danny Woodhead gets 4 and a first down. 1st and 10. Danny Woodhead gets that 13 yards and a touchdown. So fails. Get to Forte for a 6-yard gain. Fails to Marquise Wilson for 18 yards. There's an incomplete pass. Fails to Forte. That's overthrown. 1 to Jeffrey. That's overthrown, and we're going to punt back. So Donald Brown loses 3 there. 1 to Donald Brown, gains 5 on that reception. Keenan Allen, and that is knocked down. Kick back to Chicago. Fails, give it to Forte for 6 yards. Eric Weddle is down, possibly due to that other entry. But there's Alshon Jeffrey for 22 yards on that. And here's 1 to Amari Cooper for 3 yards. 2nd and 7. That is an incomplete pass. That one is knocked down. And so we're going to pump back. So there's a 3 yards there. Donald Brown gets 11 yards. Because we can't stop him back there. There's 5 yards. Loses 2. Willie Young stops him there. That looks like a fumble. We can't recover it. So it's going to be punted back to us. We started off with a sack. Marquise Wilson is down with a minor hamstring. 6-yard gain. That one to Alshon Jeffrey, and that's a turnover on downs. Danny Woodhead loses 2. Brown gets nothing. Shane McCollum stops that. Brown only gets 1, and punted back to us. So fails. Trying to get it. It's incomplete pass because of the pressure. Trying to get to Marquise Wilson. Pressure again. There's Amari Cooper catching it for 11 yards on the first down. Corey Fleener, that's incomplete pass though. Marquise Wilson loses 2. 3rd and 12, and that one drops harmlessly. Jeffrey makes a play for 24 yards on the first down. That one's allowed to Martellus Bennett. He gets 4 yards there. Alshon Jeffrey double coverage incomplete. Matt Forte that's tipped away though. See to Bennett for 3 yards, 1 yard short. And so San Diego is just going to come out here and knee it. So we're going to have to see what the injury to some of our players are. This was an injury-ridden game. A lot of injuries. So Nick Novak had that. Alshon Jeffrey there. 51 pass there. Okay. We had one interception by Cutler. I think that one again was a tip ball pass. So it's an issue either with the passing lane or possibly even at the line of scrimmage, those players not being engaged. So Donald Brown, 16 on 16 carries, 66 yards. Danny Woodhead, 10 carries, 29 yards. So we contain them there besides these 2 short yardage touchdowns. Matt Forte, 11 carries, 46 yards. TJ Yeldon, 8 carries, 26 yards. And then Tevin Coleman had that one that gained that first down. Passing, Cutler, 5 for 8, 32 yards, 1 interception. David Fales, 22 for 41, 257 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, he put something out there. He put something out there that was very intriguing and shows us that we possibly have a quarterback that may be able to back up Cutler if this is long term. As I say maybe, I'm still not certain. I mean, David Fales he needs to be groomed a little bit. Philip Rivers, 20 for 30, 220 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, protecting the ball there. Looking at theirs, Keenan Allen, 8 catches, 115 yards. And Eddie Royal, 5 catches, 71 yards for 1 touchdown. Alshon, 9 catches, 145 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's putting it on. I think the biggest thing is we need to revamp this offensive line. Give it a second, not just Amari Cooper out there, but we need another receiver. And we need to make this defense dynamic to give the ball in the hands of our offense, essentially, and let our offense dictate this game. So Eric Weddle got that one interception. Shea forced 2 fumbles. We didn't recover any of these, though. I mean, wow. Shea, 8 tackles. 8 sacks on that side. Willie Young, we have 1. For them, Montetea had the most tackles. When it comes to sacks, Corey Lugay and Jeremiah Atachow had 1 together. They had a lot of knocks and hurries. That's what I need to do. I need to get some knocks and hurries from my playmakers. So, we have dropped another one. Jay Cutler is out. Strained calf muscle. He is officially out. So, I think we're just going to have him on out like that. I think we can just have him like that and just have him as third string. Matt Slauson is out. So bring in Brian Beluga. Marquise Wilson, strained hamstring. So we're going to, what are we going to do? We're going to put him as out. McPhee, yeah, we know about that. So that's what we're going to do. Fails. Hunley. Oh, actually, I think we do not need to grab another. Ain't that a bitch? You're playing. So it begins. I'm sorry. but Mason Foster has to be released. That's a bad cap hit. Don't like it, but I have to. So we now have to go and look at bringing in another quarterback. We can bring back Jimmy Clausen. We can bring in Matt Flynn, who has the big upside if they have to play. I think our biggest, our best thing to bring in is actually probably Taj Boyd. Yeah, because look at Josh McCown, Chase Daniel. Timing's good, but yeah, we are gonna grab Taj Boyd. And now we're gonna compare. He's caught a bit of rust. So what we're gonna do? Sales, Hunley, and Boyd. Marquise Wilson's gonna be out. No, he's not. Can't do that. So it's gonna be Johnson, Williams, and Kyrie Lee. Oh, it's a sprained hamstring. How am I doing? No. Wilson, Johnson, Williams. It's a sprained hamstring. Just afraid of Bennett. He'll be good there. All right, offensive line. I've again lost Slauson. So is it better to put Brian Beluga here? Or is it better to put... Actually, I'm going to put Kyle Long here. Brian Beluga. I'm going to move Fisher in. Beluga here. Fluja here. Ola. So I'm going to have to go like this. And he's out 4 weeks. I gotta check my recording. I don't know how long. Okay, yeah, I've done 2 games this game, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, I did. All right, so we played the Green Bay Packers and lost 28-9, and then we lost to the San Diego Chargers 27-17. So The next episode we'll be playing the Saints and Chiefs, and then I might just record it that way since we won't make the playoffs. In the following episode, the Vikings, Raiders, and Packers, and then go from there. So thank you all for joining me in what is our rebuilding year of the Chicago Bears in Front Office Football 7. Later, guys.